Glenn and Melanie Matthews, your neighborhood experience the modern exterminating difference. Call 803-765-2315 or visit pestfreesc.com today.
We are Modern Exterminating. It's your home and it's our mission.
Are you looking for a luxurious way to pamper yourself? Look no further than Sunrise Artisan Bath & Body. Our plant-based soaps and lotions are designed to provide you with the ultimate experience. Our products are natural and nourishing, leaving you feeling refreshed and rejuvenated. So go ahead, treat yourself with Sunrise Artisan, which is more than a bath, it's an experience. Sunrise Artisan, located at 710 Saluda Avenue in 5 Points, or online at sunrisebath.com. Sunrise Artisan.
.45, 357, sniper scope, Smith & Wesson, stand opposed to every band. Gun control is a steady hand. So if you want it, you'll have to come and take it. And understand tyranny is in my sight. And if you want it, you'll test your will and break it. And I will never give it up without a fight. To stop the kings, life without chains is what it brings. So keep them close and take a stand. Gun control is a steady hand. You'll have to come and take it and understand tyranny is in my sight. And if you want it, you'll test your will and break it. And I will never give it up without a fight. It's my best friend. It doesn't make a sound till I defend. Test your will and break it. And I will never give it up without a fight. It's my insurance. It's my best friend. It doesn't make a sound till I defend. So if you want it, you'll have to come and take it.
All right, great people of Columbia, here. We've already got a caller on the line. And we'll pause our Dangerous Doug Kendall stuff, doing the live stream, and we're going to go right to the phones and say, hey, caller, how are you?
Hey, Dr. Gene, happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday to you, David, the scientist, the professor de los ciencias. So we lost the first 45 minutes, but I got a note from Trent Muldrew saying, are you ready? And I said, yes. And then we dropped out of Clemson baseball, and now we're back with the regular program.
Yeah, I've got to correct you again, though, Gene. It's not great people of Columbia. It's great. I'll give you two options.
Okay.
Great people of and formerly of Columbia, or
okay.
Great people of Columbia and elsewhere.
And escapees.
Some of us don't claim Columbia anymore.
And escapees.
Yeah.
Well, you just gotta, and it's bad and it's sad. And I look and have, of course, experiences in my great city, and other people do too. And things have changed. Mostly to the negative, unfortunately, but I'm glad to see that at least you you and your family made the jump.
Yeah. Well, did you have a chance to watch Kev on CNN? At least the replay of it?
I did not, but I'm going to. I have it queued up to do it. But yeah, I was going to do it. I said, "Wow, he's all dressed up." So that's sort of cool.
Yeah, he definitely put on his best attire and did well, and frankly won these. If you want to call it a debate, he won it easily. Even though he had, just like Trump did, he had the media impartial, and I'm using air quotes, person against him, trying to bring up things like, the unelected Elon,
yeah, like all those bureaucrats in the IRS. Remember, it was members of the State Department that gave away President Barack Obama's travel stuff. Remember that? They did that. Yep. And staffers inside the IRS are the ones that leaked Trump's tax returns to Rachel Madcow. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. But I just laugh because, most people are not appointed or elected. People are appointed. And I've heard one caller call Kev's show and talking about how rich Elon and he's making money off of us. And Kev had to remind him, no, he's not getting paid for this.
Yeah, this is a freebie. This is a freebie.
I want to help you. Yeah, I'm here to help you. And I saw a great meme, and I think this applies to both you and I, where someone said, well, maybe they'll go out to Republicans, and a person comes and says,
yeah, hell yeah.
Get all the crooks.
Hell yeah, get them all. Get all the crooks. Let's bust them up and put them behind the wall so we don't have to see them anymore.
Yep.
I'm just so happy. I am so darn happy. And so there's a bunch of news aggregator things that I read every day. And one of them I must read 40 times a day. And invariably, there's a new Trump story every time I check it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Kevin said, this works for all media. There's nothing better for media than Trump.
Well, yeah. Well, how about this?
They ought to be writing him a check.
I don't know if you recall this, but both our friend Kevin and Fran said, he's got 100 days. He's got to knock out this stuff in 100 days. And then all of a sudden, our same friends are like, he's doing too much. He is doing too much. Does this guy never sleep? He is doing too much. Well, you said he had 100 days. He's running for it.
I saw funny the other day. It said the people who renamed syrup and bases and mountains, military bases and mountains, are mad about this Gulf of America thing.
Yeah.
That's where they started. Oh, we can't have it called that syrup. We can't have it called Aunt Jemima. And that can't be Mount McKinley. And that can't be
Uncle
Fort Bragg.
Ben's. Yeah, you can't have Uncle Ben. American heroes. Aunt Jemima, Uncle Ben. Right. The Quaker Oats guy sort of gets a pass as he looks like George Washington or Barbara Bush. But yeah, this is just crazy, the stuff that we've had to endure. And regular people are like, no, that was garbage. That whole thing was garbage.
Well, like I say, we're back to normal now. We're getting normalcy back. Just common sense. To use a cliche, it feels like the adults are back in charge.
Yeah. Daddy's back and he's taking his belt off. He's going to fix these errant children.
And the talk when Kev had that debate, if you want to call it that, with the CNN anchor and then the girl from D.C., they're talking about Doge and how great it was. And then she went to the race card and said, oh, we're worried because this is targeting things that affect black people. There's no part of this that says, well, I guess it does in a way because it affects everybody, but it doesn't affect them singularly. But yeah, she had to go there because, again, like Kev says, when you don't have an argument, you pull that out. This is something that's helping all Americans.
Right?
There's no part of this that affects one over the other or not. It's crazy. So when you can't argue facts, you go there because, like I say, who is against cutting out fraud in ways? Who could possibly say that's a bad thing, right?
Oh, this is good. So one of our friends, what a pleasant surprise. I was about to change the station when I heard Dangerous Doug Kendall. That's good. That's good. So that's good. So we saved one. But yeah, so that's Yeah, it's crazy, and how there have been issues on the other side. One is we had a surprise caller take up the pedophilia position, and I was just shocked. I mean, I was like, why in the world would anybody take that position? But yeah, these people are friends on the left. Every garbage position, that's what they take. Everyone.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And
I didn't know this. I was talking.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, there's a national debt clock that you can go online in case you feel like being depressed and watch it. And I came up with the idea. I might have mentioned it to you one time about just setting a timer every time it hits $1 million. Start and stop and see how quickly it goes
to the next one.
Million.
Yeah.
And right. So now when you got this Doge stuff going on, my theory is that it's not going to be something dramatic, but you might see tenths of a second come off of how quickly we run up, $1 million. And I looked just for that one field when I was talking to Kev about it, and he told me about this. So I went back and looked at it. They've actually got a field out for the Doge clock. And last time I checked, it was like $92 billion.
Wow.
They've already, cut out.
Well, I know that we're having to restart our thing on Instagram, but I know absolutely that oh, there we go. It's playing other stuff. I know absolutely that they've identified like $1 trillion. Well, we're only $2 trillion out of balance. If he can pick up another trillion in the next 6 months, we can pay our bills. Exactly. We don't have to print any money. We can survive. Yep. And what a difference it's going to make. Can you imagine the non-debt U.S. government? Can you imagine? Oh, well, no, we don't actually need any. We don't need to have a special session. We don't need to raise the debt ceiling. We're not in debt. It would be the biggest game changer ever. And nobody would be able to compete with us because we could do things with cash, not with debt.
And who can be against this, Gene? That's what I go back to. Who can be against?
No, these people,
they really can't.
Well, this is a crazy thing. Remember when they went after U.S. aid? Now, to me, USAID is a largely philanthropic way that America tries to even out the score and to help other countries. No. It's never been about that. It's always about American prestige and influence around the world. And they knew it. The people that were carping early, they knew what it was. That's all our money. That's where we spend. That's where we get our influence and power. You can't cut that off. We don't have anything.
Did you see the person trying to corner Elizabeth Warren and said, how are you worth $20 million on a $200,000 a year salary? Of course, she won't answer the question.
Of course not. Did she go, so you couldn't talk over her? Did she put both of her thumbs in her ears? No. And then woo. You can't beat that Stonewall. And yeah, she lied. She took advantage of a set aside and lied when she went to, I think it was University of Texas or something. She said that she was Native American, and she's about as Native American as I am. So yeah, they're willing to steal. I mean, they're willing to take that which does not belong to them for their own deal. And we're going to find out that there's a lot of make work jobs that all these kids of all these Congress critters that they've got a make work job. They got something that won't stand up to any scrutiny at all.
Yeah, I saw a funny meme. This is not the kind of jobs they would be doing, but it showed like some type of government worker somewhere digging a hole, and 8 or 9 people standing around watching, and it said pre-Doge. After Doge, it just had the person doing the digging.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's always been a joke. The South Carolina Department of Transportation is slated to cut a number of jobs because the Wizards of Smart at Clemson Tiger Strong World University have invented a shovel that stands up on its own, so you don't have to be on the side of the road doing it. And I don't see.
Yeah, the old.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say the old joke is what's yellow and sleeps 6. state DOT van.
Oh, that's funny. That is funny. But I don't know if you've been on this side of the world, but we've had all sorts of wild road things and things that you wouldn't expect that we'd be having anymore. But yeah, so blocking off roads with no. They did tear up the road eventually, but they were blocked for a week before they did anything that you would consider real work. But yeah, we've got that going on.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's just me. I'm going to make a guess that it's you too. That it's easier to breathe now. That you're not ducking the sword of Damocles swinging above your head every 10 minutes.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what has replaced, I think, is what has replaced TDS is now EDS. Because it was Trump derangement syndrome. Now we got more of it in Elon.
That's right. Hold on, David. We're going to take a quick break. Top of the hour for our first 15 minutes. I'm Gene Garris, America's radio show. We're going to take a quick break and be right back.
Hey, it's Jay with the Cigar Militia, your premium cigar retailer in South Carolina. We're constantly restocking our favorite brands and always getting new things in for you to try. If you're new in town, we pride ourselves on being the friendliest hangout in town. Come on in and check us out. You're still at 1410 Colonial Life Boulevard in the same plaza as the Melting Pot. And if you're new at cigar smoking, one of our friendly staff members can walk you through the humidor and find something you'll like. So stop by Colonial Village in Columbia.
Tradition and quality. That's what you get with H&J Cattle Company, where local third-generation farmers ensure you receive the finest beef in South Carolina. Our registered Hereford and Wagyu cattle are raised with sustainable practices, without growth hormones, antibiotics, or animal byproducts. Taste the difference with the highest quality beef guaranteed. Order now at hdjcattle.co or on Instagram and Facebook at H&J-Cattle.co. Again, H&J-Cattle.co, where ethics meets quality.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
From the Bart Fireside Studio, the solution for keeping you warm this winter.
This is 107 The Point.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Jason Walker. White House says it has the right to punish AP reporters over a naming dispute.
Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says there's no disputing Donald Trump's new name for the Gulf of Mexico.
It is a fact that the body of water off the coast of Louisiana is called the Gulf of America.
And she says news organizations that refuse to use that name are not telling the truth.
If we feel that there are lies being pushed by outlets in this room, we are going to hold those lies accountable.
The White House is barring Associated Press journalists from presidential events because the widely used AP style book continues to use the Gulf of Mexico. Greg Clugston, the White House.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio fully endorsing Israel's war aims in the Gaza Strip, saying Hamas, quote, must be eradicated. Rubio met earlier in the day with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Also at townhall.com, House Republicans launching their budget plan out of committee, the first legislative step toward fulfilling the president's policy agenda. House Republican Whip Tom Emmer lists some of the wasteful spending discovered so far at U.S. aid by DOJ.
$20 million for a Sesame Street show in Iraq. $1.5 million to promote LGBT advocacy in Jamaica. $2 million for sex changes and LGBT activism in Guatemala. $1.5 million to advance diversity, equity, and inclusion in Serbia's workplaces and business communities.
At least 9 people have died over the weekend in rough weather, 8 of them in Kentucky. Officials there say hundreds of people had to be rescued in flash flooding. Meanwhile, one forecaster says most of the country's in for very cold weather midweek. More on the stories, townhall.com.
Heard me talk about Relief Factor and how so many people enjoy a better, more pain-free life because of it. If you're dealing with everyday pain, it makes sense you'd want to try it first. Well, Relief Factor makes that pretty pain-free too with their 3-week quick start kit for only $19.95. An easy, affordable way to see how it could literally change your life, like it has mine. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor doesn't just mask pain temporarily, it helps reduce or eliminate pain. In fact, the longer you take it, the more effective effective it is. Trying it couldn't be easier with their 3-week quick start for only $19.95, less than $1 a day. And it just takes a phone call to 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4RELIEF. 1-800-4RELIEF. Wherever you're having pain, every day you feel better is a day you live better. Try Relief Factor's 3-week quick start. Visit ReliefFactor.com. That's ReliefFactor.com, or call 1-800-4RELIEF. 800-4RELIEF for Relief Factor.
Now, the top man in the NBA is speaking out over a very controversial trade.
NBA Commissioner Adam Silver has a message to those Dallas Mavericks fans who are still angry 2 weeks later. He feels your pain. That said, he's also sure that the Mavericks believe that their decision to trade Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers for Anthony Davis was, in their minds at least, the best possible move for the franchise. Silver, in his annual address at All-Star Weekend Saturday, said he had no advance word that the trade was looming and that he was surprised like everyone else. He also said he wasn't going to second-guess Dallas' decision.
Health officials banning the artificial food color known as Red 3 from the U.S. food supply last month, citing a federal law and cancer risk in lab rats. But the dye is only one of several synthetic colors that is widely found in common foods. Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. Well, the Bible, of course, tells us the story of Jonah and the whale. Now, a young man in Chile has something in common with Jonah. That in an episode that's extremely frightening and amazing, but we will tell you right off the bat, it does have a happy ending. Here's Ben Thomas.
Humpback whales, massive creatures, but filter feeders, eating things like small fish. They do not prey on seals, dolphins, or humans, though it's not unheard of for one to end up in its mouth.
Claro, mucho terror.
Just ask Adrian Simancas. He was kayaking in the Strait of Magellan off Chilean Patagonia when a humpback breached. Mouth wide open, and in went Adrian. Dell, who had a camera running, as the whale spat him right back out in a matter of seconds, unhurt. I'm Ben Thomas.
And more on these stories at townhall.com.
Tax season is the perfect time to think about long-term goals like your children's college savings plans. We've been doing it for years. We've had the Future Scholar 529 program for both my Hayden and Jacob, and it has been a blessing. It's not too late to get a state tax deduction even for 2024. Contributions made to your Future Scholar account before the tax filing deadline, which is May 1st this year, can be claimed as a state tax deduction for 24 or 2025. This is a great time to get involved. Every single penny that you put in is tax deductible on your tax return, and in addition, you pay no federal or state tax when you withdraw the funds to use for expenses. I'm talking about how to pay for tuition, or how to pay for the books, or the fees, or the computers, or the room and board, because you've got the Future Scholar program. If you want to get started, now's a great time. Any amount will get you started, and anybody can contribute to your Future Scholar. Go to futurescholar.com for more information. Futurescholar.com. Remember, no state funds are used to market Future Scholar, and the Future Scholar 529 program is administered by the Office of the Treasurer, Curtis Loftus.
You're listening to
Cut this one down. Bring this one up. And we got our friend David. Thank you for holding on there, David.
Yeah, no problem. You know, we talked earlier about me being happy being over here in Lexington, but I was just getting ready to commerce here a little bit in Lexington and found out our pharmacy closed an hour than I thought it did. So,
oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Yeah, I went to the Walgreens that's closest to my office. I had something to pick up, and it's a little thing. And yeah, no pharmacist today. No pharmacist on the weekend for that location.
Yeah, this one has it until 6 p.m. on Sundays, but regularly it's like 11 p.m. So I just assumed it would be late at night, but I guess not. So
yeah, no
I
such
can come tomorrow,
luck.
though. That's
Yeah,
the good thing
that's-
about, you know. But But no, on the EDS thing is, I don't know if you saw this, but they're trying to blame Trump for having like a, I forget what you would call it, or like beneficial treatment with Elon Musk with this fleet of Teslas that the government was going to order. And this guy was on The View, and he goes, "No, first of all, this is something you guys pushed. You guys are all about we got to save the planet. We got to save the planet.
That's right.
We
That's
got to have
right.
EVs. We got to have these cars." And then so Biden signs a contract, but who's the one canceling it? Trump.
Right.
So I just love that. It was just like a mic drop moment. You could see them like just shocked. They had no idea. They thought they had them. Like, oh, look, we got a case of Trump, kind of giving them maybe paper play with Elon Musk. And no, it was Papa Biden.
Yeah.
And he said, but you guys want these things. And he goes, well, maybe it is you really don't care about the climate. Maybe it was just,
maybe you're just
else.
draconian authoritarians. Maybe it's just that.
Exactly.
Maybe you're just baby killers. Yep. Maybe you just worship Molech and Baal. Maybe that's what you do.
Yeah, but it was just like a classic. Just looking at them, just like they didn't know what to say.
Let's be honest. Before X was Elonified, before Twitter was Elonified, it was a consensus engine where they would just harass folks and then make you believe stuff that wasn't true. And
at the order of the government.
Yeah, exactly. You those people are in charge. You need to listen to your betters. What is your issue here? Why are you doing this? This is not right. You're doing this wrong. You're not helping everybody. Why aren't you helping everybody? Why aren't you trying to make things better, David? You don't want things to be better. Yeah. You want things to be worse. You're a denier. You deny the ice age, the coming ice age. You deny that. You deny global warming, and you deny Prince Albert Gore Jr.'s every time you buy an Apple device, he gets another massage. He makes $400 off of every one that you buy.
Yep.
So
it's like that picture I saw that said, people are not leaving Twitter, or actually, what do you call it, because they're not free to express themselves. They're leaving because you were allowed to.
Yeah.
And that was just so true. Like they don't want to see open, honest discussion and everything. They want it.
No, they can't compete when the other side can fight back. And this community notes with inside Twitter is dominating them because regular people can go, "That's not true," and you know it. No, that's not true. That's not true. That's not how any of this worked, and you know it. What is your dysfunction?
Yep. But that's all I got for now tonight, Gene. But you have a great week.
Well, that's great, and I'm glad you were able to get in as the first caller of the new hour. Telephone number here is 803-799-8255. 799-TALK on the Groucho's Deli in-studio hotline. But yeah, so we're able to get a lot of stuff done. And thank God that our preemption for Clemson baseball did not, even though the Tigers weren't successful at pulling this one out, did not suffer too much. But always welcome you at 803-799-8255, 799-TALK. And I missed the Beast on the Daytona 500, but I know he's done that before. I did see a picture from the inside of the Beast with one of his granddaughters was riding along with him, and that's got to be cool if your grandpa is the president of the United States. And I want to be honest with you, and that is, I feel so much better about our country right now instead of the mysterious sword of Damocles, waiting for the other shoe to drop, waiting for the the seizure of the stuff that you own, waiting to be prosecuted like the poor January 6 people who went and visited their house, who got waved in by law enforcement, who got shot in the face unprovoked by law enforcement. That's what killed, of course, Mrs. Boland. And then, of course, Ashley Babbitt was murdered there, posing no threat with no mechanism of arm or anything. So, it's different. So we're going to find out the truth. And the squealing, and it's lots of got to say, free, free, free. And the same people that were shaking their fists and shouting at the sky under the last inaugural Trump inauguration. You deserved it. You demonized the guy that was doing the right stuff. You demonized the guy that was being pretty bright about what to do with our country. You demonized the guy who actually understood what was going on, and somebody that had the capacity to solve problems. And that's what we got now. So if you've wondered, and I think it's reasonable, like, what are they doing at the White House? They're doing 5 things a day, every day. That's what they're doing. Every day they're going to do 5 things. And when I talk about Twitter being an artificial consensus engine, that's where they would go and talk to themselves. Oh, see, this is trending. It's important. We're pushing this out there, but we're driving it. See, it's important. It's important. Look, it's trending on the Twitter. We got a comment about it. It's tweeting on the Twitter. We need to bring it into the mainstream news. We've got to have Jake Tapeworm or Dana Bash or one of these other horrible people. We got to get that information out there. But it was an artificial consensus engine where they would use Twitter to basically punch regular people in the throat and to shut them up. They use retaliatory stuff to deplatform people. God, for poor Laura Loomer. Now, Laura Loomer, of course, we have different political things, and that's okay. That's okay. Nobody has to agree with my crazy political stuff. You don't have to agree with it. My children don't have to agree with it. Nobody has to agree with my stuff. We're going to take a quick break, but be right back. You're listening to America's radio show, only on The Point.
If you step onto H&J Cattle Company's farm, you'll find third-generation farmers upholding the legacy. They embrace sustainability and take immense pride in their craft, raising cattle purely on nature's offerings without growth hormones, antibiotics, or animal byproducts. The result? Unmatched quality beef that's not just good, it's the best in South Carolina. Experience the distinct flavor of our finest registered Hereford and Wagyu beef. Visit us online at hdjcattle.co or on Instagram and Facebook at H&J Cattle CO.
You can count on hot summers in the Midlands.
You can count on those South Carolina roads biting.
And when you end up with a broken windshield, you can certainly count on Absolute Glass.
With one phone call, we can repair, replace, and recalibrate your car's windshield.
We'll handle the insurance calls, and for most folks, it won't cost you a dime to let us fix your windshield.
Absolute Glass has been voted Lexington's best for 15 years straight.
So call Absolute Glass at 951-7200.
Or find us online at AbsoluteGlassInc.com.
And remember, if you can see through it, we can do it.
Hey, it's Jay with the Cigar Militia. When I stop by a cigar store, I always look for my go-to cigars and stock up a few of those, but I also look for something I've never tried before. Well, at the Cigar Militia, we specialize in a lot of small boutique cigar manufacturers. Come in and try a Don Kiki by Karen Berger or a Makaji by Ty Williams. We are the Cigar Militia at 1410 Colonial Life Boulevard. Help us out, stock up, and review some of our boutique brands.
Step into summer with no unwanted guest in your home.
At Modern Exterminating Company, we're not just experts in pest control, we're your neighbors.
Glenn and Melanie Matthews here. Modern Exterminating has been part of this community since 1955, offering unmatched experience with the family touch.
Trust us to keep your home pest-free with care and dedication that only a local family-owned business can provide.
Experience the Modern Exterminating difference. Call us at 765-2315 or visit pestfreesc.com.
Let us keep your home truly yours.
That song was. What I have some colleagues of mine, a group of girls who they went out to Las Vegas. Bury Me, one of them. One of the girls carried. It's good that those. Gary Manilow, what a great American talent. It's even amazing to the point that these other forms of music are actually able to be stored digitally. When stuff and our friend, of course, mentioned Don Kiki and Makaji from our friends at the cigar merchants on Colonial Drive. Goodness, I have to make a trip out there. I had a buddy of mine that used to go out there a lot. It was like a clubhouse almost. A lot of fun. Sounds like a lot of fun. Telephone number here is 803-799-8255, 799-TALK on the Groucho's Deli in-studio hotline. It's really weird when you're doing less than what you expect. You know, it's really strange. And I mean that. I mean, it really is strange when you're doing less than sort of what you signed up to do. When you're doing different stuff, it's awkward. It's different. It's I'm looking for a button. I've had a button pop loose on the control board, but goodness, it's I am ecstatic. I mean, every day that I go to the Gateway Pundit, every day that I go to one of these things and look at it, it is a scream. There's something new in the news cycle every time, whether it's somebody whining or kvetching or freaking out. It's just crazy, crazy, crazy funny. And you know, he is the right guy. He is the guy. He is the right guy at the right time, at the right place. And he has such good enemies. He has wonderful, wonderful enemies. And it's amazing that it took that consensus engine of Twitter, it took that consensus engine of the national news for us to even care what these people said, because they don't matter. They don't. Their ideas are garbage. They want to hurt the country. They are competitors to you and your family. They're competitors to what comes in. They've killed 100 million chickens, really to take eggs off the market. It's really funny. And I mean this. It is funny, strange. It's funny that they're all about culling cows. Oh, I got mad cow disease. I got mad cow disease. We gotta kill all the cows. We gotta cull all the cows because it's mad cow disease. All right, but there are other mammals that get mad cow. And then the other thing is, why do we always have to kill the food supply? And I mean, this is a real question. And if you have a different answer, I would love to hear it. Why do we always have to wipe out the food supply? Why do we have to kill those things that poor people and regular people put in their mouths and feed their children? Why do we have to do that? You know, it would make sense to me if you had bird flu infected eggs to go ahead and cook them at pressure cook them at 250 degrees, and nothing would be able to survive it in my mind, and nothing would be able to survive it. But we're going to go right to the phones. Hold on a second. Let me drop this caller in the right place. We're going to go right to the phones and say, "Hey, caller, how are you?"
Hey, Dr. Gene.
Hey, what's going on there, Nick? What's going on in your neck of the woods?
Yeah, man, I just so glad you broke up the symposium on the paint drying.
Yeah.
I'm not and I'm not against baseball, but watching it it's kind of rough. Listening to it is really hard.
Yeah. But how about this? Clemson Carolina game, a regular end of season game. I couldn't find a way to watch it at the last year, so I ended up listening to it on the radio, and it was transformative. I forgot how much more plugged in I was listening to the radio than watching it on the idiot box or anything else. It's really a theater of the mind. So it's actually better, in my brain to do it that way.
Yeah, I understand that. I mean, I sometimes I'll listen to football games just like you said, just because it kind of cuts clutter down. You can really focus. I'm just not a big baseball fan. Never have been. I'm not a great basketball fan either. But one thing I'll say about basketball is it's entertaining because so much can happen in 10 seconds.
Right, and it truly is nothing but running. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's just running.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you can lose or win the game in like 2 seconds, it's a little better than we knew where this was going a half an hour ago.
Yeah.
Let's just get it over with.
Yeah, and again, the last 15 seconds are all that matters.
Yeah, you're right. When you look at basketball, you could tune in to see who's playing and tune in with the last 10 seconds to go.
Yeah, and you didn't miss anything.
much-
And I actually think that's one of the problems with our friends that are big soccer folks, and that is the game is so slow, and especially if you're in a arena where they serve alcoholic beverages and stuff, it's very likely that the only time any gameplay happens is you're making your way towards the toilet, and you missed it.
Yeah. A lot of frustrated fans.
Yeah, so I could see how there's lots of aggravation. And then in these big soccer matches in Europe, I mean, people die. People get crushed.
Oh, yeah.
Shocking.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a problem with soccer. I just, I have enough sports to keep up with, put it that way.
Yeah.
I don't need to add any more to the list.
I just don't find it exciting like some of my friends do. And so that's just, I can't wrap my head around it. It's not important enough, Nick, to do it. And again, I, like you, have enough sports. I don't need another one. That was my thing about pickleball. I thought pickleball was like a joke until I was in the outlet malls at Myrtle Beach, and I was in the Asics outlet mall, and they had pickleball shoes. And I'm like, well, it must be real if they got merch about it.
Man, I'm telling you, I'm no spring chicken, but I know too many guys that are 10 years older than me who are, about pickleball Olympics, and I'm like, I guess it's a good thing if you're active, but still don't wrap my head around it. I know Fran loves it. Maybe I'll play it one day.
Yeah, maybe that's what we should do. We should start a pickleball tournament where the last two men standing are automatically Kevin and Fran.
Yeah, I would. I mean, I'm just saying, when I talk to acquaintances of mine and I see the look in their eyes, I'd be afraid to challenge them almost. I'm like, this is like hockey.
Yeah, there are some people. There are some people that care a little bit more about things than I care about them.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one because pickleball is low on the list.
But yeah, evidently, it's about the quarter of a size of a tennis pitch.
Of the tennis, yeah, tennis.
And so that, I mean, just economically that way, that would mean that you could get a lot more players.
That's what I'm saying. I think, guys in their 60s now have found a new reason to, to get excited again, because it's like, I don't have to run that much. I don't have to move that fast. You shorten the court. It's like playing half-court basketball.
Well, it's a running that kills you. It just tires you out. And I had a roommate of mine who went to the University of Connecticut on a full hockey scholarship. And this guy was a bright guy anyway. He was academically bright, but he went on a full hockey scholarship. And he played in a doctor's roller hockey league. And he had two people in the penalty box, and he's out there scoring because he was so much healthier than everybody else. You know, he had like 2% body fat. And he sort of looked like Mel Gibson from Braveheart. You know, he's a very aggressive guy. But yeah, he was a hockey kid. Grew up as a hockey guy, and so he was a wizard of smart with the hockey.
Yeah, I got nothing against staying active, but you know, it's like I told somebody one time. They're like, "Oh, what do you like to do?" I'm like, "My hero right now at the stage of my life is John Daly." Okay. I could smoke a pack of Marlboros, drink some beers, ride around the cart, hit things with a stick. I'm okay.
Yeah, John Daly is hard to beat, and I think John Daly played against Tiger, and John Daly was like really hungover, and still beat him.
Yeah, he's still kicking butt on the course. I mean, you can't and after he does 18, he goes and has a drinking contest with Kid Rock. So I mean, he's kind of my kind of hero right now. Younger days, I love the football, the basketball. No, I'll take golf. I can ride around.
That kind of golf, kind of fun golf.
I'll do. Yeah, I can do that.
But yeah, he is a scream, and if you watch him swing, he sets up. He actually points his back towards the ball. I mean, he is not. He is really putting a lot of force. He's really doing it, Nick. All right, hold on, Nick. We'll keep you over for part of this next segment, but we'll be right back. 803-799-8255, 799-TALK.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
From the Bart Fireside Studio, the solution for keeping you warm this winter.
This is 107 The Point.
With SRN News, I'm Jason Walker. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has signaled he is moving ahead with President Trump's proposal to transfer the Palestinian population out of Gaza. Netanyahu calls it the only viable plan to enable a different future for the region. President Trump's approach to ending Russia's war against Ukraine, leaving some European allies a little worried that they're largely being sidelined by Washington. Mr. Trump is dispatching Secretary of State Marco Rubio and other security officials to Saudi Arabia for direct talks with their Russian counterparts. Fans in Montreal last night booing again the U.S. national anthem prior to the Four Nations face-off game between the Americans and host Canada. It's the second time that has drawn the reaction to U.S. games. By the way, United States won the game 3-1. This is SRN News.
Hey, honey, I just picked up your dad's meds at True Pharmacy.
Great. I hate that he can't read the small print on the bottles anymore.
No worries. John put on new Script Talk labels.
What's that?
It's a special label on your dad's prescription bottles that comes with a little listening device. And when he puts the bottle on it, the device reads the whole prescription label out loud.
Wow. How much does that cost?
That's the best part. Script Talk is free. True Pharmacy, the pharmacy that truly cares. Come see us at our new location at 623 Beltline Boulevard or Triangle Pharmacy in West Columbia.
All right, we're back with the prescribed bumper music. Normally I try to replace that, but I missed it that time. So thanks for holding on there, Nick.
Yeah, like I said, man, I just, like I said, I got nothing against sports. I just, it gets a little aggravating sometimes. I mean, I like.
Well, when you don't care about it, yeah, but when you don't care about it and you have to listen to some insufferable person talking about it like it's the biggest thing in the world, you're like, come on, there's got to be a better answer. I can't believe you're getting so animated about this. This is nothing.
Yeah, And then, like I said, I know true baseball fans, and I got nothing against them, but I literally dozed off during a baseball game. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah, I used
like
to play baseball. I
it's
could
just
almost
not
fall
enough
asleep in the
going on.
outfield. Yeah. So, but yeah, so it's
Yeah.
but these things can be a lot of fun. And, if you're just scrapping around and killing time, it's a lot, lot better. And, but yeah, I'm very happy with the way things are going, Nick. Every day it's something to be more excited about. Every day, there's something new, something that we should have tried, something that we should have done. And
Yeah,
I'm
apparently, yeah.
really happy about it.
Nobody wants to save money in America, I guess. I mean, everybody likes to complain about the price of eggs, but they don't care about the millions of dollars we're just throwing down the tubes to
Yeah,
do
well, how about this?
nonsense garbage.
We killed 100,000 egg chickens. Well, he said he was gonna make it cheap again. Why can't he kill it? Because the other guy killed 100,000, 100 million chickens. That's why you took 100 million laying chickens off the market. That's why you did it. You did this on purpose. Why? And this is for you, Nick. Why must we destroy the food stocks that feed into what we eat as Americans? That just doesn't seem smart to me.
Yeah, I think it's along the lines of, they want us to find alternative sources like, roaches are plentiful. We all eat
Yeah.
roaches. Well, I'm not going to sign up for that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm not going to eat a palmetto bug. I'm sorry. I'm just not going to do it. I mean, I've had one. I used to live in a 100-year-old house. I've had one hit the shower curtain so hard it was like somebody threw a rock at it. And it was one of them flying water bugs, palmetto bugs that we have so much. But I'm not going to eat the bugs. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. My grandparents' generation didn't fight the Empire of Japan and Nazi Germany and fascist Italy. They did not do that so that their grandchildren could eat the bugs and not own anything and be happy. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Yeah, I'm not going to do it. Sorry. I'd rather throw up in your face than eat some
doubt.
squishy bug. And again, every Tuesday I go shopping at a local restaurant, change that local grocery store that has $5.99 their drug-free ground chuck and $5.99 their drug-free chicken breast, and it's good. And sorry, that's what I'm gonna eat. That's what we're gonna feed the family on. Is we're gonna that's a price that we can afford on the stuff that we like, and that's what we're gonna do. And we're not gonna eat your bugs, and we're gonna buy a boat, and we're gonna have trucks, and we're gonna have things that allow us to do things. And yeah, we're gonna keep on keeping on. So if you want to say, I'm not gonna raise a child during the horrible Trump administration, hey, that's up for you. That's up for you. And maybe the whole rest of the world will thank yet one less crazy person being out there shaking their fist at the sky and screaming because the orange man, the competent president, won. Just not going to do it, Nick. I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah, I agree with that, buddy. I had, not that I forgot about the whole weather balloon thing, but I just, I saw an update and I didn't realize that they had, salvaged the balloons.
Oh, I
that
didn't
the
know
Chinese
either.
sent over.
But I did know they were big as a Winnebago. That they weren't car size. That they were big.
Yeah. I mean, it was interesting to see that when they, did their little forensic report on it, took it apart, that it was totally capable of transmitting information back to China with better imagery than satellite imagery, and that's pretty good. But I guess if you're a couple of 1,000 feet off the ground, it's a whole lot better than the satellite out there in space. But I'm just saying, I just remember so many callers that would call Kevin and say, "You're
It's
trying to start
nothing.
World War
It's
III.
nothing. It's
Weather balloon.
nothing." The
Yeah,
crazy
you're trying
thing.
to start a world war over a weather balloon.
Well,
Yeah, really?
the crazy thing was It was a citizen, a regular person with a smartphone, I think in Montana, that said, "Hey, what's that?" That's how it got. That it wasn't some wizard of smart guy in NASA or NOAA or anything else. That it was a regular person just cruising throughout his life, going, "Hey, what's that up there? What's that?" And then it flew all the way across the country, and was after it had mapped everything possible. Then we shoot it down over Myrtle Beach. Come on. Come on.
Yeah.
The American president, she didn't go, "Hey, this is weird and strange. We're not really fond of weird and strange, so we're going to knock it out of the sky and let them know this is what we do to things that are weird and strange. We're going to knock it out of the sky." It's just
Yeah,
weird. It's
I
weird.
thought that was kind of funny too. They let it go from Alaska to South Carolina, and and I kind of felt insulted. I was like, okay, you couldn't have picked South Dakota. There's a lot of
Yeah.
open spaces. You had to wait till it hit Myrtle Beach, South
No, I mean,
Carolina.
the truth of the matter is there's too many of us. And so, man, I got a goose gun. I can knock that out of the sky. I got a 16 gauge goose gun. It's got a 28-inch barrel on it. It's for knocking something out of the sky. We're prepared for it in the South. Weak places where there ain't any people, that's a different story. But we can knock crap out of the sky. Heck, we've even had a nuclear bomb dropped on us outside of Florence by the U.S. military. Those people can't kill us. We're like cockroaches eating Twinkies. We're unbelievable.
Yeah, I just thought that Joe Biden didn't have much respect for Podunk, South Carolina. I could almost hear it in his head. Who cares? He reminds me a lot of LBJ sometimes.
I
Who
can
cares?
say,
A
well,
couple of hundred people.
what difference do they make? Same thing. U.S.
Yeah.
liberty being put on the bottom of the Mediterranean. Yeah, all this garbage stuff. I just don't understand it. And if my job, the primacy of my job, was to defend the American people, I guess what? I'm going to sure as hell defend the American people. And if somebody rises up against them, if it's some sort of foreign force, it's enemies of America, we're going to slap them down. I don't see why that's even controversial. I don't understand. Whoa, so you're going to burn a city down? No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not going to burn a city down. Well, you don't have you're like a vampire. You have to be invited in. Well, it gets bad enough. Local people invite us in. Well, that won't be a problem. But I tell you, when they were having their summer of love in Portland, when they were burning down federal courthouses and doing that stuff, I was 100% willing for them to use fire suppression for the Department of the Interior. Here's hey, rioters, here's 15,000 gallons of water dumped from 1,500 feet up. Merry Christmas. I hope you enjoy it. It's just crazy to me that we tolerated these things that nobody would tolerate this themselves.
Yeah, and the funny thing to me is that, especially right now with the narrative, the funny thing, like you said, when we had people establishing CHOP and whatever other little names they had for their own little countries inside of states, that they were all under 40 years old. I mean, I never saw a gray-haired guy out there waving something, waving a flag or holding a sign. I never saw senior citizens. I seen all these kids, these young idiots, like these Doge people. They're under 50. They must be idiots. Who put them in charge? I don't know. Maybe the same one that let them take over Seattle.
Yeah, that's funny.
Maybe it's some. I mean, nobody cared. Everybody was like, "Yay, they're standing up for their rights."
Truthfully,
they're taking
Nick,
back their government.
Where did the strong people go? Where did the smart people go?
Well, I can tell you, the strong people. I don't know, man. The strong people got tired of being hit in the head every time they tried to do something right. But that's another story altogether. But at least we're kind of getting it back now. We're kind of getting a little national pride back and saying, hey, you know, let's act like there's something to fight for, not something to burn down, you know. So
100%, Nick.
the way
Thank
I
you so
see
much
it.
for calling. I've got some other people online I need to run
Thank
to
you,
and get to
buddy.
them. Anytime, Nick. I'm glad that you were able to catch us on the flip side. That was sort of cool that you were able to do that. And let's see if I can drag this.
Thank you, man.
All right. Thanks so much, Nick. So we're going to let that one go, and we're going to take that one, and we're going to move it over to this one, and we're going to say, hey, caller, how are you?
Is that me, sir?
It is you, Gino. I'm glad that you called.
I'm glad. I'm glad that I took a nap and during the game. I says, "Oh, I woke up and then I said, oh, yeah, I hear your intro." I says, "Oh, good. At least we get to talk to you for
a little
bit."
bit.
Somebody's trying to shy you away from your callers slowly at a time. And today 1 hour, next week half hour, and they kind of
15
choke you
minutes.
out. I hope not.
Well, at least
Anyway.
it was Clemson. At least it was Clemson.
Anyway, a couple of days ago was Valentine's Day, right?
Uh-huh.
A couple of days ago. And I read that Miss Elon Musk got his 13th child.
Woohoo!
But by the way, the mothers of those children are all about at least 20 years younger than him.
And I think that's about right, Gino. I think that is about right.
Yeah, but I'm very disappointed in this guy. At least 8 of those children are from IVF. I mean, how romantic is this? Why can have kids like basketball players and boxers have, and football players have, like dozen kids here and there all throughout the country?
Yeah,
At
like
least
George
they
Foreman. He could be like George. He could George girls and guys. George Foreman Jr. Everybody's named George Foreman.
Oh yeah. What about the guy whose heel was bitten by Mike Tyson? He had about 12 kids. That's why he kept on fighting, because he had to pay for the payments. But I mean, I'm so disappointed that this guy, rich guy, available to impress 25, 26 years old over and over again.
All right, hold on, Gino. We're going to take a quick break and be right back with you and try to answer the question, what in the world is wrong with Elon Musk? But we'll be right back.
Hey, y'all, this is Ted from Flight Deck Restaurant. We'd like to invite you and your family to dine with us. We have a great menu that's sure to please your whole family. We have fresh cooked burgers, big juicy wings, blue plate menu featuring country cooking, oven-baked hoagies, fresh crisp salads, authentic Greek food like gyros, souvlaki, and baklava. We also carry 20 different premium cheesecakes and pies. Flight Deck Restaurant also has an arcade with 30 different games like Star Wars, Batman, Skee Ball, Bass Wheel, Pac-Man, Galaga, and so much more. Flight Deck, your favorite family restaurant. Thanks, y'all, and God bless.
Hey, it's Jay with the Cigar Militia, your premium cigar retailer in South Carolina. We're constantly restocking our favorite brands and always getting new things in for you to try. If you're new in town, we pride ourselves on being the friendliest hangout in town. Come on in and check us out. You're still at 1410 Colonial Life Boulevard in the same plaza as the Melting Pot. And if you're new at cigar smoking, one of our friendly staff members can walk you through the humidor and find something you'll like. So stop by Colonial Village in Columbia.
Spring is just around the corner, whether the groundhog says so or not. Get ready with Palmetto State Armory, your go-to spot for all things outdoors. Reel in your best catch with top brands like Shimano, Zoom, and Spro, used by pro anglers everywhere. And for our Spring Legion members, we've got everything you need for turkey hunting. Shotguns from Benelli, Browning, and Beretta, plus premium gear from Sitka and Nomad. Visit us at one of our 9 retail locations or shop online at palmettostatearmory.com.
Hey, it's Wilson at the Melting Pot. Thinking about where to take that special someone? Celebrating your anniversary or another trip around the sun? The Melting Pot is the perfect place to celebrate your favorite person. Date night, family night, or just craving good food. The Melting Pot invites you to enjoy more than just a meal. Conversation, laughter, and coming together over our salads, savory entrees, and indulgent desserts. Have the perfect night out at the Melting Pot, located at 1410 Colonial Life Boulevard, Columbia, SC, right outside of downtown.
Thanks for holding on there, Gino. Had to make sure that the Rippingtons got you.
You gave me a chance to taste some nice grapes at the store.
Well, good. Did you get the genetically modified ones, the ones that taste like cotton candy? Have you had those?
Never. It's so strange how the white grapes here in the States that don't taste as good as the dark grapes.
Uh-huh.
In Europe, since I grew up in that business, we had different kinds of white grapes too. One of them, the most famous one on my part of the world, is called Zabiba from the island of Pantelleria, which is a small island next to Malta.
Oh, wow.
And because of the sun and the ground, they grow the best grapes in the world, but they don't grow much because it's very expensive. But anyway, I'm so disappointed. I mean, how much being the richest man in the world, he can buy sperm from anybody that he wants to.
Yeah, but he probably wants to have like 1,000 kids. Like those are the
No
future.
kidding. Okay. So
Sort of like Strom Thurmond. Strom Thurmond wanted to have 1,000 kids too.
Oh God! You had to borrow something. I don't know. Maybe be awake for about 5 minutes, and that's it. About the good eggs that you mentioned, since I've been cooking here, I noticed that I went to Aldi today, and right now the rate is $5.49, I think.
Wow!
So,
and the cheapest I've ever paid at Aldi's was 69 cents for eggs.
You know what's happening in big cities like New York and Chicago, right? They're selling eggs like they used to sell cigarettes. Loose cigarettes, loose eggs.
Oh, wow.
$1 each.
Wow.
Yeah, you didn't hear about that? What about how many eggs you want? Okay, I'll have 2. How about you, miss? I'll have 3. And they charge average about 90 cents $1 each.
Wow. Well, I've heard that there was a restaurant that was doing an egg surcharge. But I did not know which one it was. But yeah, that's yeah, I guess.
Like you said, if you buy beef, or you want to make, let's say, kind of meatballs of any kind, instead of using 15% breadcrumbs like we used to do it, people used to do it in Europe over the our times, like 1920s, 30s, 40s. They would do put about 35% breadcrumbs in it and mix it with the egg and you get an omelet. I mean, you still get to see the eggs. If it's tasty egg, but you got a little more breadcrumbs.
Right, and the breadcrumbs are seasoned, so they're good tasting.
No, never. Don't ever.
You don't season your own breadcrumbs? Come on.
I buy unseasoned breadcrumbs. I season them myself, but I don't buy the seasoned ones. Please.
Right, because you got a big brain.
No, I don't. Let me put it this way. I worked in a bakery. My first job in the United States was working in a bakery. I never eat crumb cakes. Never. Or buy seasoned, quote unquote, seasoned breadcrumbs. I just give you a note. They may have too many proteins. That's all I'm going to say.
Ooh, okay.
Number 2. Seems like thanks to Donald Trump administration, that the guy in charge of Ukraine has come to realization that this
he's getting cut out.
It can't go on. I know he's got a lot of millions put away, but let me say this. Now he says he'd like to have 200,000 people from the NATO nations.
Yeah, he wants an army of Europe to be at his beck and call.
There's no way. I've been saying this about you. Europe is in NATO. It's united, but up to a point. There's no way that those countries will send all these soldiers, people to Ukraine or surrounding.
Because they don't have the people. They don't have the people.
We didn't go up worrying about war like he did, or Russia, maybe even the United States. Everything has to be a war. I mean, imagine a country like even Germany. They wouldn't dare to do that. I mean, they'd rather spend money on their own Navy, like they did in the Air Force, than have more soldiers, because this is not the time to fight war with soldiers. Those days are gone.
Right.
And I don't know what's happening to those North Koreans in Ukraine, and nobody talks about that. They've been fighting with like they're being sent to the war with nothing. They don't have the right jackets to fight with,
Right.
But anyway, so I want to ask you about this though. What's this story about trying pre-quo pro with the mayor of New York City?
Yeah, so
I don't
so the
say
Biden administration went after him when he said, "Hey, all these immigrants into New York, it's really not tenable. This is not a survivable situation." So
Right.
Eric Adams was the first one going, "Hey, we need to maybe rethink this sanctuary city
Right.
thing." And the
Yeah, but
Biden
my point.
administration went apoplectic and went after him, tried to use the
Okay, my
lawfare to
point.
destroy him.
My point being this: if the administration, the presidency, the president in charge says there should not be no sanctuary cities, why does the mayor have the right to say no? You cannot come to. I understand. How can a mayor, any city, large, small, whatever, tell the government no? You should not dare come into our city.
Well, we had a problem in our own home city, this great city, where the Aloha Bowl, which was Christmas Day in Hawaii, they wanted to move the Aloha Bowl to South Carolina, and Lou Holtz opposed it because it would interfere with his recruiting. And I was going, well, they said that'll be like $30 million in economic impact. He doesn't have the right to turn that down in my book.
Well, some coaches and some college coaches they're more important than they have a higher voice than I guess the president. But a lot of times the president of the college, you know this more than I do. A lot of times the president of a college, it just has to listen to the money people.
Right, he's a
move the
fundraiser.
strings,
He's
right?
a development person. That's
Right.
what they are. That's what they do.
Anyway, I wanted to just say that I was disappointed in Elon Musk, and I don't see him as much as he's planning to be because I'm disappointed. A man with so much to do, with so many young women around him, would have to rely on IVF and other ways.
Well, I
to
think
multiply.
I think he was involved with that Amber Heard girl, the girl with the perfectly symmetric face that was dating or was otherwise with Johnny Depp. And I don't think that richest man on the planet that she pooped in his bed.
Mhm. But even him, he has to pay for the attention of females. I mean, it's costing a lot of money, but you know what the heck? When you're a billionaire, you're a billionaire. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but I actually think of it as a public service to the rest of the world.
What do you mean by that?
We'll give you your own Elon. You want somebody like Elon? We'll give you one.
Oh God, what wasn't around World War II in Germany? Where they would eliminate poor people so that smarter people.
Yeah, well, that is the eugenics was one thing.
Eugenics.
Until the 1970s, they were sterilizing poor people in North Carolina into the 1970s.
Man, you know your stuff. I wonder how many people know what eugenics is since I haven't heard that word in many
Well,
years.
how about this? So, famed Planned Parenthood woman Margaret Sanger attracted the attention of dictator Adolf Hitler with her eugenics, and he wanted to model his eugenics program on hers.
I mean, was she attractive?
No, she was a hideous hose beast and an evil, 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 evil person.
Or is she another woman looking like the woman in charge of the teachers' union in this country?
Yeah. Oh, gosh, what is her name? Not Weinblatt. It's I'll think of it in a minute. It's
anyway. I'm glad that you're here, and I'm glad that you're still around and people can talk to you. And
well, great. I love it. I mean, I love talking to you, of course. And I've got two people online. Let me grab them real quick, Gino.
Let them talk.
All right, we'll do it. We're gonna go right here and say hello, caller. Hey, caller, you there?
Yeah.
Hey, it's Tim, leader
man.
of Democracy. I can tell by your voice. What's going on in your neck of the woods?
Yes, say real quick on that. Who are you talking to, last man?
That was our buddy Gino, who comes all the way from Sicily via New York City to the United States of America.
Well, I was one other country too. You know.
Well, that's why you know more than regular people, because you've experienced other stuff. You are a blessing, Tim. You might not think you are, but you're a blessing because you come to the table with a different set of facts than the rest of us.
Well, Well, I don't tell Gino that's called home rule. When a mayor can call the shots over another authority. But anyways,
But didn't you think it was
back to,
ridiculous that Luke Holtz got to veto the Aloha Bowl for Columbia, South Carolina, knowing that would have helped us by $30 million a weekend?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but also, you talking? What Nick? You talking to earlier?
Nick was online for a while, and so was David, and
About 2 calls ago.
yeah, something like that.
Nick. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, he was saying you have a problem with Elon Musk having those little kids going through our computer system.
I love it.
Well, I do. I do actually. I mean, and I believe what the guys are doing. I believe they're getting like carrying 1,000 terabyte drives down there and just.
Hey, look, Tim. If they find out that we have a $1 trillion in waste, our budget's only out of bounds by 2. If we claw that back, oh my goodness! End of the program. I'm so sorry, other caller. I'm so sorry. I gotta run. I'm so sorry not to be able to get all the callers. That was my goal. Catch you next week, 803-799-8255.
Solar and how much I like Ken and his team. They asked, hey, can I really trust this guy, Kev? Let me tell you 2 things. Number 1, Ken and Broker Solar are legit. I've known Ken's family for 20 plus years. Seriously, these are local, ethical people. They're not going